HOA Karen called cops after son demanded my Mustang. Didn't know I'm the police chief. I've been a car guy my whole life. Through my 20 years working in law enforcement, I saw a lot of things, both good and bad. But one thing that's always been my escape, my passion, and my pride is restoring classic cars. The crown jewel of my collection is my 1967 Ford Mustang Fastback. It's not just a car to me. It's a labor of love, blood, sweat, and countless late nights spent tracking down original parts, sanding body panels, and tinkering with the engine until it purred like it did back in the day. A few years back, when I bought my house in what I thought was a quiet, respectful neighborhood, I figured it would be the perfect place to keep my Mustang safe. Good houses, clean streets, decent people. What I didn't factor in was the one element that makes any peaceful neighborhood a nightmare: an HOA queen bee. In our neighborhood, that was none other than Karen Point one Saturday afternoon. I had the Mustang pulled into the driveway. The sun was glinting off the freshly waxed hood as I buffed out a shine. I had my music playing softly, and for once, I wasn't thinking about work or stress, just me in the car. That's when I heard it. Oh, my God. I looked up, and there she was, Karen, strutting down the sidewalk like she owned it, with her teenage son Tyler in tow. Tyler looked about 17 or 18. Typical spoiled kid vibe. Headphones draped around his neck, phone in one hand, cocky slouch like the world owed him something. Karen stopped dead in her tracks, staring at the Mustang like she just spotted a gold mine. "Is that a Mustang?" she gasped dramatically. "My family had one just like that growing up." "What a beauty." I smiled politely. "Yep, 67 Fastback. Took me years to restore it." Tyler stepped closer, eyes wide, and without hesitation said, "Cool. Give me the keys. I want to take it for a spin." I thought he was joking. I even chuckled, but the kid's face stayed serious. Sorry, bud," I said firmly. "This car doesn't leave my driveway with anyone but me behind the wheel." The second I said no, Karen's face twisted. She crossed her arms and raised her voice in that tone everyone dreads. "Oh, come on. It's just a car. My son deserves to experience something nice for once. You live in this neighborhood. You should share with the community. That's what neighbors do." I blinked at her. Was this woman seriously demanding I hand over the keys to my classic Mustang like it was a toy? "Ma'am," I said carefully, "this car is worth more than most people's yearly salary. It's extremely valuable, extremely delicate, and extremely personal. Nobody drives it but me. Not family, not friends, nobody." Karen rolled her eyes and waved her hand dismissively. "Oh, please. He's a responsible young man. You should be happy someone appreciates your old thing." And actually, she added, smirking, "HOA rules don't even allow cars like this parked in the driveway for long. If you're going to be this possessive, maybe keep in your garage. Otherwise, it's just an eyesore for the rest of us." Tyler sneered. "Yeah, stop being selfish, old man. Just let me drive it." That was it. "Enough," I said sharply. "This conversation is over." Karen's lips tightened into a thin line. Then, with theatric flair, she whipped out her phone. "You know what? I don't think this car even belongs to you. I'm calling the police. It looks stolen." I almost laughed. Almost. Instead, I leaned against the Mustang and crossed my arms. "Go ahead." 5 minutes later, sure enough, 2 squad cars rolled up. By now, several neighbors had come outside to watch the show. Karen stood proudly, practically beaming as she waved the officers over like she was leading them to a crime scene. "There," she cried. "That's the stolen vehicle. Arrest him." The officers stepped out of their cars, took one look at me, and immediately straightened up. "Good afternoon, Chief," one of them said with a respectful nod. You could have heard a pin drop. Karen's smug expression collapsed into shock. Her mouth opened and closed like a fish gasping for air. Around us, the neighbors started whispering. "Chief, he's the chief of police." I grinned. "Afternoon, officers. Looks like someone wasted your time today." Again, Karen stammered. Wait, you're the chief. But this car is mine." I cut in, fully registered, fully insured, and completely legal to be right where it is. What's not legal, however, is filing a false police report. The officers turned to Karen, their faces now stern. One said, "Ma'am, Do you realize calling in a false stolen vehicle report is a serious offense? You could face charges. Karen's bravado melted instantly. I just thought. No, I said firmly. You didn't think. You harassed me. You tried to bully me into giving your son the keys to my property, and then you wasted police resources because you didn't get your way. Tyler muttered under his breath, "This is so dumb," and sulked behind his mother. The officers gave Karen a very long, very pointed lecture before leaving. HOA meeting. You'd think that would be the end of it. But Karen wasn't done. A week later, at the monthly HOA meeting, she brought it up again. "I'd like to file an official complaint about that car," she announced. "It ruins the aesthetic of our neighborhood. It's far too flashy, it attracts attention, and it should not be parked in a driveway. It's a violation." I calmly stood up. "Actually, I've read the HOA bylaws. My car is not in violation of anything. It's operable, insured, registered, and parked legally on my property. The only violation I see is your harassment." The other neighbors shifted uncomfortably. Finally, one man spoke up. "Karen, with all due respect, most of us like having that Mustang around. It's a gorgeous piece of history. And honestly, we're proud that our police chief lives here. Makes us feel safer." Several others nodded in agreement. Karen's face flushed red, but she shut her mouth. For once, she was outnumbered. After that, Karen mostly kept her distance, but I could still feel the bitterness every time I drove past her house. So when our neighborhood hosted charity car show a month later, I made sure my Mustang was front and center. Neighbors, kids, and car enthusiasts from all over came to admire it. People were taking pictures, asking questions, and some even shared stories about how they remembered these cars from their youth. Tyler wandered over, his eyes still glued to the Mustang. This time, I decided to throw him a bone. "Hey kid," I said, "still can't let you drive it. But if you want to sit inside and take a picture, you can." His face lit up. "Really? Really?" He slid into the driver's seat like it was Christmas morning, grinning ear to ear while his buddy snapped photos. Karen stood in the background, arms crossed, looking like she'd bitten into the world's sourest lemon. That was the day she finally backed down. She never called the cops on me again. She never brought up the car at HOA meetings again. And she certainly never asked me for anything ever again. Because now she knew harassment might fly with some neighbors, but not with the police chief. And as for my Mustang, every Saturday, you'll still find me out in the driveway, polishing her up. Neighbors wave, kids stop to stare, and the Mustang shines brighter than ever. Karen still scowls when she walks by, but I just smile. Because at the end of the day, I've got my car, my peace, and my neighborhood knows exactly who to call if she ever tries pulling that stunt again.